I want to talk about a little bit of follow-up on the DJI ban. We got some feedback from @HillPhantom on YouTube, and he says this. Folks, the DJI Pocket 4 got FCC approval prior to the ban, so it can legally be sold in the US regardless of the ban. Remember, the ban is based on FCC because America refused to do the security audit that DJI was begging for. This is different than the national security bill ban, but is a byproduct of it. In other words, it is likely to get worse if they pass the greater bill. However, DJI, from my intel, has decided it may not launch the Pocket 4 in the US due to a warranty and repair concerns in the USA, which we'll get back to in a second. The reason it is delayed is that they have not figured out some issues yet, and because of the last few launches being rushed, they decided not to push this before it's fixed, as DJI is getting a bad rep of pushing out half-baked products, DJI A5 Pro / DJI Nano. You keep saying the ban in regards to a camera that has already gotten approval. This is not correct. Also, it is a complete falsehood about banning prior products retroactively. This is 100% false. Any old DJI products you have will not be banned retroactively. Quote, that FCC action is what is commonly being reported as the, quote, DJI ban. It is an administrative regulatory action under the FCC's authority. The current DJI restriction in the U.S. is tied to an FCC action, but the action itself was triggered by a requirement in the National Defense Authorization Act. So both are involved, but the ban as it exists right now is an FCC decision, not a direct standalone security bill. And that's from the FCC docs. So just a couple things from HillPhantom. First of all, thanks for the great feedback. Basically, the summary is Pocket 4 has FCC approval, so it can be sold, but DJI might not be doing it because they are apparently getting a bad rap for selling half-baked products when they launch them. And then secondarily, that there is no retroactive ban on some of the other things going on as well. I will say, I don't think that we made the claim that it was going to be banned. I think that maybe this was in another video where we clarified the fact that the DJI Pocket 4 likely would be okay to be sold by the FCC and it'll be kind of in DJI's hands. But we did have questions about what the options were in terms of software upgrades and stuff as well.
Yeah, it's definitely more so when it comes to their drones. Anything that flies, that there's a concern. By the way, if you're watching this, do us a favor and hit that like button.
Yeah.
And subscribe, because we do these live streams every single week. This is a channel dedicated to creators and talking about creator-related challenges, topics. And then, of course, I've been a vlogger on YouTube. And so I try to do my best to share all my wisdom. And if you want more coaching from me, this is the place to do it. And I'm going to take a screenshot of us on Shorts feed. It's crazy. Anyways, we're live streaming vertical and horizontal. David. So, homie of mine who helped me do a lot of live streams back in the day. But where are we going after this? What's the anything we're talking about in relation to DJI Osmo?
Yeah, so the next thing is the thing that he talked about as it relates to warranties. And I think that this is something I hadn't considered before. And actually, it wasn't his comment that initially cued me off to this, although it's interesting to see that resonance there, because I saw in a video the other day, which showed the issue of the flippable screen on the DJI Osmo. So interestingly, Neutrally brought in his extra muse last week, which also had the issue of the screen not having a perfect balance when you flip it from vertical to horizontal. And what happened is that it would flip, but it wouldn't flip and stay up. And so what they did on this video is that they asked DJI to service this Osmo, and it accepted the service, provided a quote, which they said they thought would be free. The shipping was free. And then as they got it sent in, DJI got back to them and said that they would charge them $124 for the service. So it was a little bit of a discrepancy there in what they had been quoted versus what actually was happening. Now, interestingly, this person did have it out of warranty. So in some ways that kind of sort of makes sense to me. But when he talked to the service rep, the thing that they kept mentioning was tariffs. Tariffs were the thing that were preventing them from being able to support American customers in terms of the traditional service that they provided.
Are they sending it all the way back overseas?
So this is the interesting part, is that it only went to Texas. And so it didn't even go overseas at that point. And so eventually they were like, listen, I don't even want you to repair it for me, just send it back to me. And he just got it back and just has jerry-rigged a solution for it. And I just wanted to bring that up as something that might be something that people should consider if they're buying DJI products. That, yeah, if the regulatory environment in the US is difficult for DJI, repairs and warranties and all of that may become harder and harder to do as well, even if you can still buy the products.
Yeah, ultimately, DJI Osmo is such a great camera, and it's the best vlogging camera I've ever used. And I've used the one that I still use today that's old and messed up, but still records just fine. We're talking 300 plus vlogs now over the course of 2 years, still turns on. I am noticing some speed differences of the gimbal, but even with the risk of maybe the warranty not being, honored or whatever, what's crazy is I have banged up my Osmo more than
I know.
anybody. I dropped it. I put it in a fanny pack. I ran with the fanny pack. I go to the playground with my kids. I'm vlogging at home while cooking. Things are splattering on it. Cooking
Seriously.
oil is
Yeah.
getting all over it. And I'm outside flour when I'm doing pizza, and it's been fine. So it's still one of those cameras that I think I would take the risk, even if it got worse.
Because it's so good.
Yeah, and shout out to DJI. I've been very particular. I love American-made products, first off. Secondly, I'm biased to Japan, Canon, Sony. We're using Sony's right now. Canon G7X was our go-to for over a decade, but this camera is so awesome. I hope that they can continue selling this, and the DJI Osmo 4. I'll definitely try it out, maybe buy it, but even the 3 is so awesome. So
Yeah.
keep buying it for now, I'd say.
And for what it's worth, I have purchased DJI products for a very long time as well. I had an old, I don't even remember what it was called, the original drone that they released in the US. It was one of those big chunky ones that
Mavic
you had.
Pro?
It was even before the Mavic, although the one that I had to get repaired was my Mavic when I purchased it. And they supported me totally well. And that was like 10 years ago. So, that could be one of the discrepancies. So I've had good luck with it. It's obviously just a weird environment right now.